Hi everyone, it's me. So happy Halloween, happy spooky month. Spooky month is one of my favorite times, and I'll be honest, this one kind of snuck up on me. So today I'm going to ramble what it's like to be a foreigner who celebrates Halloween in the UK. Okay? Is that alright? Now, if you've been with me for a while, you may know that I have been living and working in the UK for almost 5 years, so I've seen a handful of Halloweens. So basically what I'm gonna do is I am just gonna talk a stream of consciousness about Halloween in the UK. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you don't, that sucks. So without further ado, let's go. So how do the Brits celebrate Halloween? They don't. I have found that most people in the UK don't really care about Halloween. It's just a thing that comes and goes. Even though technically Halloween sort of originated in this area, the Brits don't really care about Halloween. Of course, there's going to be some people who love it, sure. But as a stereotype on the whole, most people don't really care about Halloween. That kind of hurts my feelings. I personally love a Halloween. I'm Canadian, and thus we love Halloween. We'll get to that in a minute. That's not part of my stream of consciousness yet. But for the most part, Brits don't really care. Google tells me that Halloween's origins date back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, the Celts, who lived 2,000 years ago, mostly in the area that is now Ireland, the United Kingdom, and northern France. So we start off with this Celtic festival, Samhain, over here, sort of in the UK, northern France, Ireland kind of way. So how does it get to North America? That's a good question. Immigrants from Scotland and Ireland brought the holiday to the United States and subsequently Canada. The commercialization of Halloween only started in the 1900s. So even though Halloween is kind of technically like a British sort of thing, can we say that? Probably not, but I just did. Even though Halloween is kind of a British thing, very few people celebrate it, I find. But if you are going to celebrate it, what do you do? Well, maybe you carve a pumpkin. I do know there's some oldies in the comments. Hello, I know some oldies carved turnips, which sounds very depressing. You might also hand out candy from your house, or sweets rather, or you go trick-or-treating, or maybe there's a Halloween party. So there's lots of like little Halloween things, but it is just much smaller than what you might see and will probably see in North America. I gotta say, I have lived and worked and loved the United Kingdom for almost 5 years, and I have never seen a trick-or-treater. I don't know where they're hiding, but it's not near me. Now, if you wanted to celebrate Halloween like most Brits, what you do is you turn your lights off, you lock your front door, and you hunker down and you hope nobody comes to your door. Now, you will see some Halloween sections at grocery stores. Maybe go into Tesco or Marks and Spencer or Asda, whatever, and they usually have like a little Halloween section. You can get treats. I think last year I taste tested Halloween sweets. It was an excuse to eat candy. All right, I said it. But there'll be like a little Halloween section, typically right beside the Christmas section. Yes, Christmas sections are already out in full force. They are out before Halloween. So you got Christmas, and then you turn to the side and you've got gooey eyeballs and skull candies and witches' hats. Lovingly living together side by side on the shelf at your local grocery store. Now, what I have found, and maybe it will help explain why Halloween is not very popular here, is you have Halloween October 31st, right? Only a few short days later, the UK has another holiday, Bonfire Night. So on Bonfire Night, which is November 5th, typically you have some sort of bonfire. A lot of villages and towns will have like a centralized bonfire. It's huge. You go, maybe you watch fireworks, you have something nice to eat, you watch a bonfire. A lot of the bonfires have fake body like up on it, which is a topic for another time. But I found that Bonfire Night or Guy Fawkes Night or November 5th or the 5th of November, whatever you want to call it, tends to be far more popular and a lot more interesting than Halloween for the Brits. So maybe rather than celebrate Halloween, people are kind of looking forward to the 5th of November instead. For obvious reasons, we do not have Bonfire Night in North America, so we go hard for Halloween. We go full out. For us in North America, I would say Halloween is one of the top holidays. Can I say that? I've just said it. I think it is one, next to Christmas, I think Halloween is one of the biggest holidays. So we go full out. You buy a costume or you hand make a costume. My mom was incredible at making costumes. You go to your charity shop, you buy all the bits, you make a costume. We would even wear our costumes to school, and then halfway through the day, typically school would basically shut down and we would have Halloween parades. So at school, in your costume, you would walk around from class to class and show off your costume because it's Halloween and it's really exciting. And then typically at school, you'd have like a pizza party or something. You'd eat way too much sugar, way too much sugar. But the day is young. Then you go home, depending on what day Halloween falls on, you go trick-or-treating, of course. Sometimes, for us Canadians at least, and maybe Northern Americans, sometimes we have snow on Halloween, which always sucked. So my mom would always make sure that my costume was like a little bit too big because you'd have to be able to wear your snowsuit on underneath, which was not cool. And we always hated when it was a snowy Halloween because then you couldn't like dress cool because you'd have your snowsuit on. But it's just something you have to deal with as a North American. Now I know for me and my best friend would go trick-or-treating until we were too old. And then we kind of had to stop. But you go trick-or-treating, the best way is to use a pillowcase. So rather than buying like some sort of pumpkin, you know, like hanging, like, what are the word I'm thinking of, like a basket? No. Pillowcase, they're huge, they can fit tons of candy, they're really easy to hold, and you can like swing them around if you need to. And then we would typically go back home, or like go to my house, dump out our candy in my room, make sure the piles are separate, of course. And then we would go back out with freshly emptied pillowcases to go trick-or-treating. That is a hot tip. You can take that to the bank. So aside from the Halloween costume parade at school and going trick-or-treating, of course you'd carve pumpkins. Maybe you'd even roast the pumpkin seeds and eat them. I know I made my mom do that a couple times, even though I didn't even really eat them, but it is a thing that you can do. Of course, you'd also listen to the Monster Mash. I don't know why that song was so popular, but I feel like every Halloween you'd hear it, I don't know, 12 times. And then, you know, you have Halloween every year of your life until you're too old. That's a lot of Monster Mashes. And of course, to celebrate Halloween like a North American, you need to watch scary movies that you probably shouldn't watch, and also play with an Ouija board and traumatize your friends. So that's like the typical Halloween experience. So for me, as a North American in the UK, Halloween kind of just sort of passes. I haven't really done much for it. I do carve a pumpkin. I actually carved pumpkins this year. This is a side rant. I have a podcast with my girlfriends. It's about true crime. It's called Murder Friends. You can check us out on wherever you listen to podcasts. We also have a YouTube channel, and we're going to post a pumpkin carving video on our YouTube channel, Murder Friends. Okay, so I do carve pumpkins at Halloween. I do maybe perhaps buy sweets for myself to eat. But now I typically celebrate Halloween like the Brits. I turn my lights off, I lock my door, and I just pray to the big skeleton king that nobody comes to my door. But if you are, for whatever reason, in North America for Halloween, I don't know why you would be, but if you ever find yourself in that situation, it is a really cool experience. People like really decorate their houses. There's kids everywhere in costumes. There's like parents in the street walking around with their kids. It's just like a really fun, exciting holiday, and I really enjoy it, and I do miss it. I know there are some very sour Brits who say that Halloween is just like a gross American tradition. And of course, we must not succumb to the enemy. So they don't celebrate Halloween and they don't like Halloween because it's a commercialized American holiday. To which I say, that's kind of sad. Live your life, pal. You gotta celebrate Halloween at least once. So what am I doing this Halloween? Well, like I said, I carved pumpkins with my girlfriends who we do the podcast Murder Friends. So I did that. I might even carve another pumpkin because there's very few times in the year when you are allowed to carve some type of large veggie gourd. What is a pumpkin considered? Did you know a pumpkin is a winter squash that is round with smooth, slightly ribbed skin and is most often deep yellow to orange? Place of origin, Mexico. You learn something new every day. Also, I totally forgot, a big thing in North America is going to a pumpkin patch. So you pick out your pumpkin, you take lots of nice pictures. There are also like corn mazes and like Halloween kind of like spooky houses you can go into and all that kind of fun stuff. So it is a big thing for us in North America. But when you think about it, after Halloween, we don't have anything cool until Christmas. And I know for me, being from Ontario, November is the worst month. I don't care what anybody says. You can tell me anything. November is objectively the worst month. It's cold, it's typically snowy and freezing and awful and dark, and nothing happens. So I kind of think of Halloween as like one last hurrah to have fun and be excited about something. And then we enter November, which is just the worst. And then we have to sustain ourselves until Christmas. That's a long time. We got long winters in Canada. We need things to keep us going. So that's it, really. That might be the end of my stream of consciousness. Thank you for watching. How do Brits celebrate Halloween? They don't really. How do North Americans celebrate Halloween? With everything. How am I gonna celebrate Halloween? Oh, I was talking about that, wasn't I? Okay, so I lost that train of thought. So I carved pumpkins with my girlfriends. I might carve another pumpkin because it's fun. I'm also going to be live streaming on Twitch on Halloween if you want to join. I've kind of mentioned Twitch a couple times. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but there is a link to my Twitch account in every description of like every video I've ever done. So if you want to join me on Halloween, I will be live streaming on Twitch because that's fun. And with COVID right now, what else are you gonna do other than be online? I don't know, take a nap or something. Also on Twitch for all of Spooky Month, I've been playing spooky games because duh. And as much as I hate scary games, it is a lot of fun. So if you want to check out Twitch, this is kind of the stuff that happens, but please turn down the volume.
So sorry, that was probably so loud. Oh my god. Did you see his face?
Anyway, I'm gonna stop this video. Thank you for watching. Did you learn anything? Probably not, but that's okay. I hope you had fun along the way. If you've never celebrated Halloween, maybe this year is the year. Don't start this year, actually. Wait till next year. Next year will probably be better. Celebrate Halloween, see what it's like. Otherwise, I hope you have a lovely bonfire night. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support here on YouTube, on Twitch, on Patreon, and also for anybody who watches, or rather listens to my true crime podcast, Murder Friends, that I do with my girlfriends. I really do appreciate it. I'm just thankful. All right, I'm thankful. And I'm hungry, which shouldn't be a surprise. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye!